right.
Name.
Shane Ritchie, and I'm 51.
Jessie Wallace, and I'm 21.
21, yeah. What age do you ever want to be, darling?
44.
Yeah, old bird.
And your job title?
I'm
Actor!
on my passport it says actor.
What is it?
Have you got it?
No, I don't think I have got it on mine.
What does it say on yours?
I don't know. I haven't looked.
Oh, no.
When and why did you decide to get into this line of work?
When? I went to drama school when I was about 28. I was a makeup artist before that. Yeah.
Okay.
Why did you want to become an actress then?
Well, I always wanted to be an actress from like probably the age of 6, but there was other things that I wanted to do. I just went in different ways, and then ended up being a makeup artist, and then I was sitting side of stage once at the Royal Shakespeare Company, and I thought, yeah, I want to do that.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, how long ago was that?
That was in 95, 96. I was watching a production of Troilus and Cressida with Victoria Hamilton and Josie Fiennes, and that's when I decided I wanted to be an actor.
Were you watching it thinking, I could do that?
Yeah, I could do that. And it was this yearning to act.
Really?
Yeah.
But what about before that, when you were a makeup artist? Did you not think...
Because there was other things I wanted to do. I wanted to do makeup, I wanted to do special effects. But even though I wanted to be an actor as well, I just went round the houses about it.
It's interesting. Did you think, though, back then...
Are you interviewing me now?
Yeah, no, I find it very interesting. If you don't mind me...
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Because I remember thinking that acting wasn't for the likes of people like me. It didn't feel working class. Because when some of the highbrow stuff you were doing, were you thinking, oh, they're posh, they get to do that kind of thing, and it just felt out of reach?
No, not really.
Did you ever think that?
No.
Oh.
Never felt like that.
Oh, well. I started performing, just doing school plays, which I love. And I had this... I went to a big school, and you went away at the school I went to. There was just, you kind of unnoticed unless you stood out from the crowd. And I loved showing off, which enabled me to do school plays. And from that, at the age of 12, the school kind of gave up on me, but in a nice way. And they sent me to this local theatre company called Moonshine, where at the age of 12, I would sit there all day, every day, 3 times a week, and help the actors with their scripts, and help paint sets, and just make them cups of tea with these professional actors. And they'd go off and do their touring plays, and sometimes I'd go with them if they were in London. And the school allowed me to do that. And I just was watching the reaction that these performers got, and I really enjoyed their reaction. And my dad used to run clubs in London, so I'd get up. So that was my introduction to the business. And it's, where I want to be an actor, I like the idea of being noticed, and I suppose fame. I enjoyed the whole being different from everybody else, and that's what the job gave me. And I wanted to be an entertainer, and that meant being an actor, singer, dancer, comic, presenter. Because for me, I'm an entertainer, and that's the umbrella, and underneath that is all those little job descriptions.
Okay. Describe the training and qualifications you have, if any.
None. I went to... my training for me was working, doing theatres, and probably played every theatre before I was 18 in the country, whether it was doing stand-up comedy or doing plays. But then I worked at holiday camps. I only did 3 seasons from the age of 15, 16 to 18, but in the summers I learned how to work an audience, which enabled me to become a better actor. So that was my training. Though in 1980 there was a crossroads where I could have gone to the National Youth Theatre, but and in that same week I was offered a place at National Youth Theatre, but I was also offered a place at a holiday camp, and it meant getting away from home, so I went to work at a holiday camp.
That's quite interesting. What about you? Do you any qualifications or anything?
I just graduated at the Poor School after a 2-year course. It wasn't my choice of school. I wanted to go to RADA or LAMDA.
Why did you not go RADA?
Because I didn't get in
Did
the
you
Poor
audition?
School. Yeah, I auditioned for the schools. I got a recall for RADA, but I got into the Poor School and I didn't want to go there because it was an evening class and my job was in the evening because I worked in theatre. So I just didn't want to go, but it was the only school that I got, I got into. So I did a 2-year course there.
Okay, do you have another job outside of the industry?
Apart from being parents,
Yeah, that's it. Being a mum.
Yeah.
I mean, this is all consuming. Certainly in a show like EastEnders, which we've both been in and out of for the last 14 years, it really becomes, people talk about an actor and having a job as an actor. When you do something like EastEnders or any of the big long running serial dramas, it becomes a way of life, and it has to be, you know. And as much as you try to say it's your job, when you do a show like this, other jobs you fit it around your social life, but this you fit your social life around this particular job, you know. And some of us was it easy, you know. Jesse, being a single parent, lives 10 minutes away. I live an hour and a half away, so that's where, you know, the similarities are there about trying to juggle your life. And when you do a show like EastEnders, you really do, you know, it's day by day. You know, like today the schedule's changed for reasons, you know. So anything you might have organised in the evening, unlike a job where as an actor you might do, right, you've got 3 months. That's so, you know, after 3 months you can go and have a holiday, go and do whatever you got to do, go shopping, get to know your other half again. But with this, something like this, it's ongoing.
It's ongoing, but you're in the same place every day. Like you said, I live, you know, not too far away. But then if you're doing a play, you're doing a tour, you're taken away from home, and that's the nature of the business.
And you kind of got to go where the work is.
Yeah.
You know.
Who are your influences?
I find I have less and less.
Yeah.
There's that saying, you never meet your heroes. I mean, I was influenced very much by, when I was younger, but performers like Robin Williams, Billy Connolly, because I felt these guys, mostly Americans for me, like Jerry Lewis, Dick Van Dyke. I love these guys that could do stand-up, that would host game shows, that could, you know, do great drama and make you laugh at the drop of a hat, make you cry. So all these kind of performers, like at the moment, I love Tom Hanks. I've just kind of found this guy that can just play all these different characters, yet still keep a piece of himself in everything he does, whether he's doing a voiceover for Toy Story, Forrest Gump, Philadelphia Story, all these wonderful characters play. So influence, not so much actors, influences are like different performers that can do a lot of things, and that's who I'm influenced by.
Yeah.
You love, I mean,
I love people like Jessica Lange and Kathy
it,
Bates, you know, actresses that can be like really quirky and off the wall.
And are not frightened of being ugly as well, aren't
No.
they? They're beautiful women.
Yeah. Miranda Richardson, she's my favourite actress. Just characters that aren't afraid, they'll do anything.
Yeah.
And they can play, you know, any character they choose to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm influenced by people who aren't afraid to fail.
Yeah.
That will take chances and take a gamble. And I kind of look at them and go, oh my God, you have no fear. And if you have no fear, then you can have a career in this business.
Yeah. Okay, describe your typical working day.
Well, every day's different. Certainly, what, in EastEnders?
Yeah.
Well, you can get here. I leave the house sometimes at 6:15 in the morning and get here about 7:30, and I can sit in my dressing room for 3 hours, go to makeup, and go and do something that might take you 5 minutes, or go and do something that might take you 2 hours. Or you can get here at 7 o'clock, go on set at 8, and not come off until 6 o'clock in the evening. Every day is different.
It is different every day.
And the emotions you go through in one day can be different. You know, at the moment we're playing a big storyline with Kat and Alfie where Alfie's got a brain tumour, Kat finds out she's got a son, so we're playing that emotion, and we might do that in the morning. In the afternoon we're doing something where we're laughing and joking because it's filmed out of sequence, so you kind of got to have the emotions at your fingertips.
And also you've got a fast turnover, you can get like about 20 scenes in one day.
Yeah.
It's not like when you're doing film when you've got the whole day to do one little scene. You're cramming all these scenes in one day, and it's just the emotion. If you're, you know, crying a lot in the scene, by the end of the day you're so drained.
Yeah.
And then you could be back in again at the.
Another than just be sitting in the background.
Yeah.
So they do vary day to day.
Yeah. Since leaving education, what has been your biggest career achievement?
It will be EastEnders for me because it's opened the door for other things. You know, like the Murray Lloyd thing that I did, and you know, working with people like Tony Grounds, John York, you know, and working with Terry Johnson, doing things like what they used to be. You know, getting EastEnders has opened the door for those other parts. But also, it can be a bit of a hindrance because you're just seen as that character.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
For me, my career, the fact that and I know how lucky I am and blessed that I've never been out of work in 35 years. And if I have been, it's because I've chosen to be. But that's because I made a decision very early on. I'm not a great singer and I'm certainly not a great dancer, but I knew if I was going to be out, and I'm not the best stand-up, but I was always working. If the next drama cast director said, listen Shane, you're not really what we're looking for. Okay, I'm not going to be out of work though, I'm going to go and do a stand-up tour, or I'm going to go and do that musical, or I can go and do that drama job. So for me, I'm so lucky that I made that decision very early on in my career, that to say I'm an actor, and I'm proud of it, and it's an honour to say I'm an actor, but I never wanted to be an out of work actor. I never wanted to be in this business and be out of work, and the only way you can do that is to go and do something that you're not particularly good at. I knew I was a good enough actor, but them jobs didn't always think, cast director think I might not be good enough for that particular job. So I went and did some dancing. I went and did a course in dancing. I learned to tap. I'm not a great tap dancer, but I know if singing in the rain was threatening, I go, oh, you know, Shane, he can do a bit of tap and I'll brush up. It's like when I did the musical Grease, I've never danced, but I learned to do that particular show. So yeah, I'm constantly always wanting to learn. You know, next year, me and Jessie go on tour with a play, and already I'm nervous about it because acting on stage is very different to acting on TV. So I want to kind of master that again.
Yeah.
So for me, 35 years of just constantly working is a big career achievement for me.
Do you have an agent, and if so, do you find it necessary?
I've just recently moved to Philadelphia.
You've had, but over the years, you've had a few agents.
I've had
Like
3
most
or
actors,
4,
most
yeah.
actors have.
And it just hasn't worked out, but now I've gone with Phil after a few years of just dipping my toe in the water, and then I finally made the jump, and it's the best move I've made because he's a manager and he looks after me, and I've never been looked after like that before, so yeah, definitely worth it. You know, if there's a bit, a bit of crap in the press or whatever, or something said, he just bats it right back. So yeah, I do need him, yeah.
So I've never had an agent. I've always had a manager, because I always felt an agent's there to get you work, and I always knew I could get work myself, but I needed somebody who was going to say no, because sometimes the things you don't do that give you longevity. And as a youngster starting off in the 80s, I would do everything, every show, every TV show. I'd go, oh yeah, I want just to get your face and your name out there and to get the experience. And then I got a manager in my late teens who said, no, if you're going to do this, you still want to be doing this when you're 50. Now, when you're 20 and someone says, you go, right off. You look at when you're 20 and someone says you want to be doing this 50, no, I want to be retired, I don't want to do it. But now I'm 50, kind of go, no, it was the best decision made. And what a manager does, he guides your career. He says, right, what are we going to be doing in 2 years' time? And so the manager that now Jessie's got is Phil Dale, who has plans. He says, okay, this is what we're doing next year. He said, now you're not going to do that. And you speak to him every day, and as a manager, he'll put you together with writers, producers, directors, creative people to say, right, what can we do for 2017? At the moment now, we're busy for the whole of next year. So now, as a manager, Phil Dale says, right, what have I got for Shane Richie, Jessie Wallace, or any other people he looks after? What am I creating for 2017? So it's a kind of a redundant question talking about an agent, but an agent, for most of the cast in this show have all got agents, and they do what they do. They'll get you the work, or they'll put you forward for jobs. But a manager, like we've got, will create and say, right, I'm going to manage your careers. These are the things I think you should do, and the things I want you to stay away from. And I suppose that's the difference.
Okay, do you have any advice for anybody trying to get into the business?
Wow.
If you get a knockback, don't take it personally, really. Just,
You've got to be as tough as nails.
You have, and if you're not tough, you get tough.
Yeah. And don't be
so
frightened
fickle.
to fail. Do not be frightened. Embrace failure. Because for every person that goes, I think you're great, there's hundreds of people that think, I think you're shit.
Mm.
Yeah.
But always believe in yourself.
Yeah. And play to your strengths. If you're a great actor, because you've trained as an actor, go and train at something else. Go and say, right, I want to be a really good dancer. Or so try and embrace everything that business has got to offer.
And you can never stop learning.
Never.
As an actor,
Yeah.
you never stop learning.
Mm. And you're always seeing another actor do something, you go, oh my God, I didn't see that coming, that was genius. You know. So if you want a career in the business, remember it's a marathon, it's not a sprint.
Yeah. Okay.